Hi, this is Jay, and I'm going to show you how to install fruitbox on Raspberry Pi, and we're going to be doing that on a Raspberry Pi 4 today. So you're going to have your micro SD card in your computer and the Raspberry Pi Imager software open, and we're going to choose device. Click this choose device button here. And select Raspberry Pi 4, since that's what we're working with here. Choose OS. Don't select the default, because the default right now is Bookworm, which is newer, and we can make that work with Fruitbox, but the Fruitbox that we have now was compiled to work with the Bullseye operating system. So we're going to select Raspberry Pi OS Other, and we're going to look for the Bullseye 64-bit. We don't want this Bookworm. We want the Bullseye, and make sure you select 64-bit. And it's going to be the desktop configuration, 64-bit. Choose your SD card in that last button there, and make sure that you have your SD card selected, and not another drive on your computer, because you can overwrite the settings on your computer, and that would not be good. So make sure that you have the right storage device selected in the storage, and then just let it do its thing here, and I'll speed up the video to get through this here in a second. Okay, now that the micro SD card has been written to, we can click continue, and then we can remove the micro SD card from the computer and plug it into your Pi. And in this next step, I'm going to show you what your music on your thumb drive should look like, and just going to show you that before we actually boot the Pi up. Okay, so now I am in my music folder on my thumb drive. I'm still on Windows, but I just wanted to show you, you can separate your music by genre if you want. You can have them separated by album. Doesn't really matter. You don't even have to have them separated. You can just throw all your MP3s right on your thumb drive. Fruitbox will find it. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to show you something, and I'm gonna leave a link so you can download this. This is going to help you immensely. This script that I've made here. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this onto the Pi once we boot into the Pi, and then we're going to use this and basically copy and paste every command that we need, so that you don't have to type everything out. It just makes it a lot quicker. So we will get to that in the next step. Alright, so at this point I have imaged the SD card, and I have got the SD card in my Pi, and I've just plugged the Pi in, applied the power to it. I'm going to let it boot up, and it's going to go through this reboot cycle here, and it does this usually the first time because it has to resize the partition of that micro SD card, and it doesn't take very long. And then once we get booted up here, I'll show you what you need to do with your music and installing Fruitbox. And with this, it helps if you have a mouse hooked up here. So, you want to set your locale here. I'm in the US, so I'm setting it to US, Los Angeles. Should be Pacific time zone. I don't know why they use that. Just go ahead and let this get set up. Now, this is where you do not want to take matters into your own hands. We want you to set the user as Pi, and you can do whatever you want for the password. I like to just set it as fruitbox. For the password, it just makes it easy to remember. It says you've used a known default. That's fine. It doesn't like you using Pi as the username, but I don't really see a problem with it for just a jukebox. Then click next on this. You can come back to this later if your screen is off or whatever. Then you want to select your network. Let's go back here. These are my networks here. And then you can update software here. And I will fast forward through this part. Okay, system's up to date. Raspberry Pi is set up and ready to go. Press restart. Okay. So we will do that. Okay, we are back on the Pi desktop here. This is what the Raspberry Pi desktop looks like. First thing that we're going to do is plug in that USB thumb drive that has all of our music on it that we just put that script on that I was showing you a minute ago. We plug that in, and you should see this pop up. Close this, and you should see your drive over here. It might not be named music. It's probably named whatever it was you named it in Windows. We're going to open that. We're going to take this and drag it out to the desktop. And then we're going to open. I don't know why I opened two of them. We only need one of these. We're going to open that. And we're going to open this script up. So in this script, these are the things that we're going to copy and paste. This first line here, you can copy that, paste that into this, and then hit enter. And then you're going to go to the next line, copy, oops. Paste that in here, and hit enter. And then copy. Make sure you get it all here. Hit enter. And this is going to download everything from the GitHub. And install it. And make sure that you are copying from this 64-bit, not the 32-bit, because we installed the 64-bit version, and that's the one we want to use. I'll let this finish here before we go on to the next step. Okay, fruitbox is installed. That's probably the fastest you've ever seen fruitbox get installed. If you're somebody who types this stuff manually, that's how fast this speed script will help you. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to run fruitbox for the first time. So we're going to enter this command here. That puts us in the fruitbox directory. And then this next command, we're going to copy and paste that. This will run fruitbox, and we're going to get an error. It's going to say that there's no music path found. Now, you can click escape on your keyboard, and you can get out of that. And basically, what happens is there's no fruitbox ini file, and we have to run fruitbox the first time. That's why I have you run it. Once it's ran, then the fruitbox ini file gets created. So we're going to open a file manager. We're going to find this fruitbox folder, and we're going to find this fruitbox ini file. And we're going to open this. And in our speed script, which is actually one of these tabs on this text editor here, we're going to scroll down to edit fruitbox ini. We're going to copy all 4 of these lines. And these are going to add the music path that we need in fruitbox ini. So we need to go open fruitbox ini and find the music path. And the music path is right here. I'm going to highlight that and paste those lines right over top of that. Then you might want to clean this up here. I don't think it really matters, but if you want, you can clean this up here. Darn it. I'm doing this through a OBS window, so it's kind of hard for me to see what I'm doing here. There we go. Okay, so now we have all 4 of these music lines inside this fruitbox ini. If you don't do this, it's not going to find your music because it needs this music path, this media pi music path, and that's what this music here is. If we click this music folder, that's the media pi path that fruitbox needs to be able to find your music. Fruitbox, when you first open it, the only music path it has is this music path equals music, because I believe Mike Kingsley intended for you to use the music folder on your Pi, and you can do that, but it means you're going to have to copy and paste all your music, copy and paste or upload it from your computer or something. And if you just want to use your thumb drive, you're going to need this media Pi. I add these extra music paths in here. They're just extra. You don't have to use them. I'm not going to explain them. But you definitely need this media pie if you're using your thumb drive. And the next step is going to be enabling the skin chooser. Actually, I'm not going to enable the skin chooser. I'm going to run fruitbox one more time to show you that now that we have the music path, it should find our music. No songs found. Oh, you know what? I didn't save that file. Let me go back to fruitbox ini and save it. Okay, go back here. Do the fruitbox command again. Now it should find our music. Okay, because I already had the databases built, it quickly found the music and just loaded it. Typically, it's going to find your music and it has to build a database, and it takes a while for that to happen. I don't think I need to show you how that works. Just know that the first time that you run fruitbox with your music thumb drive, that it will take a little while to find all that music. Okay, now we are in fruitbox. You can select music with your keys. I just selected A1 to show that it's playing A1. I'm going to exit out of here. I need to show you some other stuff. Actually, before I do that, let's open fruitbox one more time. My dummies guide goes over a lot of stuff, and one of the things it goes over is, I don't know, if you look at the very top of the window here, you can still see that there's like a menu bar up there. We want to get rid of that because it messes up fruitbox how it looks. Fruitbox doesn't load properly with that menu bar. So let's exit out of here. To get rid of that menu bar, you can right click this, and I believe it's panel settings, and you go to advanced and minimize panel when not in use, and you're going to select this, set this to 0 size, and then close this. And what that does is so now if you hover your mouse up here to the top of the screen, that menu bar will pop back up. And doing this now, we load fruitbox back up. You can see that menu bar is gone and fruitbox loads properly. Okay, and there's one other thing that I should have shown you earlier. We need to set the memory, the GPU memory, to 256. So we're going to type sudo raspi-config, and we need to go into, I believe it's performance and GPU memory. You're going to want to set this to 256. And then click OK. And finish. And it's going to want to reboot. So we'll click yes. And we need to do that to make fruitbox run as efficiently as possible. It needs all that GPU memory to run correctly. So that's why we do that. And we give it a minute here to boot back up. Okay. So we are back in here. So we're going to open the terminal window again and go back to our speed script. Now notice in this terminal window that from the speed script we had to, let's go back up to it here. When we first ran fruitbox, we had to type this cd home pi fruitbox to get back in the fruitbox directory. Now, a trick is you can use your arrow keys when you're in the terminal and go up and down, and it will enter all these old commands that you entered before. So you can just go to that cd home pi fruitbox with the arrow keys and hit enter. Now we're in the fruitbox folder. And we can do that again, just using the arrow keys up and down. So this will help you so you don't have to type this stuff every time. And we go to fruitbox. Okay, fruitbox loads. Okay, so right now we have a working fruitbox installation. I'm going to show you some extra stuff here to make the most of fruitbox. So we're going to escape, go back to our speed script here. And there's our music paths. Okay, so we want to enable the skin chooser with all skins. So we're going to copy all of this. And there's a bunch of it. Just copy it all the way down to the bottom. The bottom skin is Whirly Video. Copy all of this. Go back into Fruitbox INI. Scroll down to the skin section. There's only one skin loaded here. So you're going to just copy right over that SBM100. Just paste that right there. I wouldn't worry about the formatting, because it looks like all these are like this. I wouldn't worry about it. Fruitbox will read it whether you do that or not. For some reason, and Mike Kingsley, forgive me for saying this, but I do not know why you have this attract mode set the way you do, because it's pretty confusing. We're going to fix this. We're going to copy this whole attract mode part right here. Basically what happens is attract mode, if you have it turned on, it's just going to play from these odd parts. It's like a 1 minute interval. The fade in is 5 seconds. The fade out is 10 seconds. Fade in position. So basically all this does is it's playing a part of the songs. And if you want a true random mode, you have to do it by setting this attract mode a certain way. And so I have it fixed here in these settings. We're just going to copy this and copy right over this. And then when you turn attract mode on, it'll be a true, basically like a random play. Okay, now we have that in there. Let's see what else we have in here. Okay, I have some tips in here about auto starting Fruitbox, and before we get into that, let's go back in this Fruitbox INI and save this, and let's run Fruitbox again, and you'll see what the skin chooser does now that we have those skins loaded in the INI file. Okay, so here's the skin chooser, and you can scroll through all these and select whichever one you want. You can see that I have a lot of skins in here because I've created a ton of skins. And I'm just going to scroll through all these. Anyways, so one other thing that I failed to show earlier in this fruitbox INI file, near the top, and I mean pretty close to the top here, this line, the skin chooser timeout. So you can set this to however long you want it to be to time out. I like to set it to 30 seconds. And what happens is when the skin chooser, when fruitbox loads, if you don't make a selection, it will automatically open. It will automatically open whatever skin is on the top line of the skins section here. So in this case, after 30 seconds, this Woody's Jukebox will be the default skin that opens. And if you want to change which one is the default, you need to put that default. So, for instance, I would take this Dynamite, this line, and I would put that at the top. And I'm making things difficult here because my mouse is jumping around. Apologies. Oh, I think I closed that section. Sorry about that. I'll open this back up. So yeah, you would take this whole line here and you would copy that and paste it into the top here. I'll just add another line. So if that's the default, let's go back to our fruitbox here. We'll load it. And Dynamite should be, actually it's not going to work because I didn't save the INI file. Hang on. We'll go back in here and we'll save this. And we'll come back. Now that the Dynamite is the top line, that should be the one that opens. And since I put that 30-second timer in there, after 30 seconds, this will be the skin that opens. So it gives you time, like if you have an automatic reboot set for your Pi, if you leave it on all the time and you have it reboot once a day, it gives you the option to have fruitbox automatically open, and whatever the default skin is at the top of the skins line, Dynamite! it will open that skin. Okay, let me close this here. I hope that makes sense. I'm kind of it's a little convoluted the way I'm explaining it, but I hope that makes sense to you. Let's go back to the speed script here. If you want to auto start fruitbox, okay, so this is Bookworm, and we're not using Bookworm, we're using Bullseye. So we'll go down here to the Bullseye section. And if you want Bullseye to automatically start and run fruitbox, these are the commands that we're going to have to do. So we'll go ahead and copy and paste this. Okay, so that puts us in the home folder. I'm going to copy this. Okay, so that puts us in this file here. And for this, we want to copy this whole, both of these two lines here. Copy and paste that right into this. Actually, it looks like this created a separate line here. We don't want this. We just want it to be two lines just like this. And make sure that when you copy and paste this that it looks, exact. Otherwise this isn't going to work. We're going to save. Oh, you can't save it from the file menu like that. With the Nano editor, you have to go Control X, save modified buffer, click yes, or actually type yes or type Y for yes, and then file name to write, just hit enter. Okay, so that saves that. And what we're doing is we're creating a bash file to auto start auto load fruitbox when the Pi starts. So the next line here is this chmod. Now what we're doing here is we're changing the permissions on the file that we just created so that it will run. Okay, so copy and paste that there. And then from a terminal window, we're going to enter the following. Do these lines separately. So copy, paste this here, hit enter, copy this, paste it in here, hit enter, and copy this. Hit enter. Now that last command opens a nano editor, and the script here says at the bottom of the file enter the following. Let me copy that, and we're going to want to go to the bottom here and paste this line. And again, to save this, you're going to go Control X, save modified buffer. Type the Y key for enter, and then hit enter again. And then now, when we reboot the Pi, it should automatically start fruitbox, because that's the auto start section. You can also, there's also this reboot the Pi every day at a specified time. So this will make it an automated thing. So if you leave your Pi on all the time, this will reboot it. And because we did the auto start in the section previously, it will just automatically go into fruitbox when it restarts. So this is kind of an all-encompassing text file here that we're doing all this. So just go through this real quick. We're going to paste this command sudo cron tab -e, and we're going to select an editor. We're going to select one for the nano and hit enter. And then we are going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this file, and we're going to enter this command at the bottom. And so what this is doing is it's doing this shutdown, and the -R is reboot is what that means. And now means do it now. I think it has like a 60-second timer or something, but the now just makes it do it immediately. This part here, this 30-6, that means it's going to reboot every day at 6:30 in the morning. You can change that to whatever you want. We're going to hit Control X here. Save modified buffer, yes. And then hit enter. Now, all we really need to do is reboot this thing and leave it on. And every day it'll reboot at 6:30 in the morning. So we'll go ahead and reboot this right here. And it should boot right into fruitbox when it comes back on. And because we changed it to the dynamite skin, that should be the default that it loads. So we'll give it a second here. And there you have it. And then if you wait 30 seconds, it will load on its own.
Dynamite! I'm serious, nigga. What do y'all think about some bad motherfucking Hey, baby, hey, baby, get some bubble gum in this motherfucking stuff.
Well, there you have it. I hope this helps you. It might have made it more complicated because I'm doing this cut and paste, but if you want to sit there and type every one of those, you can do that. It's in the cut and paste script. I just figured the cut and paste makes it a little faster. That's why I made that. And hopefully it helps you. Okay, with that, I'm going to end this video here. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask, and I'll see if I can help you. Later.